Poverty is not an accident, and it is not a blind fate imposed by history. Poverty, in many cases, is the result of deliberate design. When we read Niccolò Machiavelli, we quickly realize that he was never concerned with saving the poor or defending the weak. His question was far more unsettling. How do you rule people as they truly are, not as we wish them to be? How do you maintain power without constant violence, without endless repression, without blood? In this question, poverty appears not as a failure of governance, but as a silent instrument of control. Machiavelli understood human beings as creatures driven by fear and interest, rather than morality. People remain loyal as long as their survival feels secure, and they change sides the moment that security is threatened. Hunger in this logic is stronger than ideals, and fear lasts far longer than love. A person who struggles to survive does not think about freedom, justice, or political ideals. He thinks about tomorrow's bread. Survival replaces reflection, and necessity suffocates resistance. This is why economic control has always been more effective than brute force. A ruler who controls resources controls behavior. A ruler who distributes security distributes loyalty. The poor do not rebel easily, not because they are weak by nature, but because poverty drains energy, courage, and long-term vision. When life becomes a daily emergency, rebellion feels like a luxury. Machiavelli also understood something equally dangerous. A wealthy population is not threatening because it is immoral, but because it is independent. Wealth creates time, and time creates thought. Wealth allows organization, and organization allows opposition. Economic independence slowly transforms into intellectual independence, and intellectual independence is the true enemy of unchecked power. This is why authority rarely desires a population that is either extremely rich or completely destroyed. The goal is balance, a controlled scarcity that maintains dependence without provoking despair. Extreme poverty is unstable. Machiavelli knew this well. When people reach a point where they have nothing left to lose, fear disappears. Hunger turns into rage, and rage turns into revolt. This is why power does not seek chaos. It seeks management. Poverty must be regulated, not eliminated and not allowed to explode. Controlled hardship produces obedience. Uncontrolled misery produces revolution. The most dangerous aspect of poverty is not economic, but psychological. Poverty reshapes identity. It convinces people that they are lesser, undeserving, incapable. Over time, the poor begin to police themselves. They hesitate before speaking, doubt themselves before acting, and accept limits before they are imposed. Once a person internalizes weakness, external force becomes unnecessary. Silence replaces chains. Machiavelli is often misunderstood because people confuse explanation with justification. He does not tell rulers what they should do morally. He describes what power already does effectively. He dissects reality without comforting illusions. Like a surgeon, he exposes the structure beneath the skin. Regardless of how unpleasant it looks, the discomfort comes not from cruelty, but from clarity. What matters to you is not admiration or rejection of Machiavelli, but awareness. Understanding how poverty functions as a tool explains why exhaustion is constant, why anger is postponed, why hope is endlessly deferred. It explains why people are kept busy surviving instead of thinking. A person without economic independence is easy to manage, easy to distract, and easy to exhaust. Machiavelli never told people to accept hunger, and he never glorified suffering. What he revealed is far more unsettling. Power does not always rely on violence. Often, it relies on keeping people just alive enough to obey and just tired enough not to resist. Poverty, when engineered carefully, produces obedience more efficiently than prisons ever could. If you seek to understand power, human nature, and the systems that shape obedience without force, then awareness is the first step. Subscribe because clarity is uncomfortable, and truth is not meant for everyone,